All right. So, but yeah, I think we need to be thinking about uh, a lot of stuff. Hang on. Where was I? Okay. So, uh, but as far as provision goes, I mean, for your family, like, you don't got to provide for them. They don't need a new Xbox. You don't need to take them on vacation, like, ever. It might be nice if you did. But honestly, you don't got to, I mean, I think you should, it'd be good for them to, like, it ain't got to be nothing fancy. You just take them on a little trip up, upstate somewhere. Maybe take them on some trails and, go camping somewhere, stuff like that. I think everybody should take their kids camping. I think everybody should, I think that stuff's important, learn about the great outdoors a little bit. I think that's really healthy. Um, but yeah, thing is though, so, but we all have our office in the body. And so let's talk about women. What do women do? All right. Women, the job there is she's supposed to be obedient to the husband, right? Because there has to be structure. If you, I mean, like, honestly, if you look at a lot of single mother households, not that there isn't any structure ever in them, because some women do really well with that. But honestly, like, men tend to just do better there. If we're fulfilling our roles right, if we're doing what we're supposed to do. And so the women can help with that. But their main stuff is to provide, and we're like, well, we're supposed to keep them kind of, grounded, centered, right? They, however, provide so much of the love, the affection, and you're supposed to be doing that too as a man. Don't think that's just all your wife's job to be loving and kind, you know. But men, we tend to show our love a little bit differently, Ours tends to be more like, here, let me show you how to do something. Let me make you strong, We tend to be like the meat and the weights, to make you strong. But the woman is like the important rest time that you need, because you do need rest. And that's so much what the woman provides, or the wife. She provides that rest. She also provides that nurturing, and like, that sounds like so, whatever, but honestly, it's so necessary. Dude, like, I'm telling you right now, like, and man, we need freaking nurture, and every woman out there could tell you, like, once we get a cold, it's over. We're big babies about it, because we just want to sit there and we want to put our head on their lap, and we just want them to rub our dang head, tell us every little thing's gonna be all right, but and love on us. Well, the thing is like, that's how it is with, and that's it's so necessary, like, because it ain't just the kids that need nurturing, it's the husband, and in turn he learns how to nurture, and he, if he's doing his job and he's being considerate and whatever, he nurtures her back, but he just probably ain't as good at it as she is. But the thing is like, but that's fine, because he's got an area where he compensates for where he may lack there, and vice versa on her end, And so, again, we're not equal, we're unique. This is better than being equal, Like, for anybody out there who's ever played very much video games in an RPG, you don't just want like one class of people, you don't want like 4 wizards on your team necessarily, which I shouldn't even say it is evil, but because it goes to glorify evil. But the thing is you would want like 4 different types of class of characters to fight different battles, right? And so the thing is, yeah, so you don't want just like 4 warriors. You don't want 4, I don't know, I guess thieves or whatever, because that's usually just the classes that are in some of these games, right? For the roles that you're playing. But yeah, thing is though, is but the wife, now she was the same way, and she was seeking the Lord and His righteousness before she even was blessed with her spouse. See, a lot of this stuff just comes natural, because well, maybe not naturally, but you get it when you read the Bible, and so she'll be more inclined to be a godly woman, and raise good kids, and the thing is I tell you, like, it must suck having for some of these kids with the moms they have now, because, like, dude, I would be so repulsed if my mother dressed in a way where I seen every nook and cranny on her. Like, that's disgusting. Like, I'm just gonna put that out there. Like, that's gross, man. Like, the fact that, like, kids can't look at their mom and they see that their mom, like, dude, quit trying to dress sexy when your kids are around. If it's for your husband, fine. Like, throw on the lingerie, I guess. But even then, like, even then, it's like, just, it's not necessary. And then the thing is like, don't be dressing in freaking yoga pants in front of your dang kids. Like, you know how humiliating that's got to be? I mean, just, their moms may all be doing it, but, like, when you see that your mom, like, nobody wants to think of their mom in that they don't want to know about her sexual capacities, right? They just don't. That's just gross to them. You don't want to know that about your mother. You may, but I'm sure you don't like it. You may think, well, she's a human being, but, whatever. Thing is like, but a godly woman that's dressing modestly, that's part of it. And I know that's real unpopular, but that's the truth. She's dressing modestly, and she's honoring God in that regard. She's, and then on top of it, she's acting godly. She's in subjection to her husband, and they're working together to make a godly family. And she's doing her job and nurturing the kids and helping to bring them up right, and leveling out her husband, because honestly, we can just be like, so much of the time, and we need somebody to be like, listen, sweetheart, you need to calm down. Like, just chill a little bit. Like, we need that. We just need that. And so the thing is like, and that's the office that the wife fulfills, and thank God for it. We need that. But thing is then, I mean, she's, well, and then, like, and I mean, nurturing just sounds like so, like, I mean, it sounds like such a silly little office in how we are in today's society, but it's so important, I mean, because it shows you how to care for yourself when you're a kid and you're growing up under that, because it's like, that's who shows you, like, how to not just to care for yourself, but how to care for others, how to love people, how to have, that's what makes a healthy society. That's why, women are a pillar of society as well, because the thing is they're creating sanity in so many ways. Oh, they're helping to balance it out. See, because the thing is, sanity is a balancing act. Because you need that structure, you need that toughness and all that comes from the dad. But you also need that nurturing, that care that comes from the mom. But if you have one and not the other, you you can either turn out a complete psycho that's totally, unfeeling and, man, I gotta quit doing that. Sorry about dropping my phone again. But unfeeling, uncaring, just overly tough and whatever. But then on the other side, you turn out to be all spoiled and sissified. And so there's something in the middle that, that's where you got to be. It's a balancing act, and it's quite beautiful. And that's why, again, we're not equal, we're unique. And so the thing is so she balances out what the husband does. And so the thing is both of the parents' jobs to correct the kids, to, spank them. The kids need spanked. That's not child abuse, dude. Spank your freaking kids. If you're not spanking your kids, you are committing child abuse. The Bible says that you spare the rod, you hate the child, basically, spanking your kid, you're not gonna kill them, but you're gonna save their soul from hell. Like, that's what the Bible was talking about. Well, you'll deliver them from hell. I can't remember how it was put in Proverbs, but it's in Proverbs. You can check that out. And so, thing is they both need to be spanking the kids, but honestly, I think that's more the husband's job, because the woman can be played out. She just can. She can be manipulated a lot easier. She can be all this stuff, right? But the husband, when he hears about it, it's just, probably shouldn't reference this song, but, for whom the bell tolls, time marches on. Like, you're going to get it. You're going to get your butt whooped. There just ain't nothing about it. And honestly, I think there's times you need to both whip their butt and ground them too. Because the husband can just be a lot more harsh. And harshness is needed sometimes. But thing is but again, the wife levels that out. And she can sometimes tell the husband, like, listen, I think you're going a little too hard here, and you might want to consider calming down, because you're going to make this kid hate you. You're going to turn this kid into a psychopath, because you're not actually thinking about them. You're just thinking about they ticked you off, and you're finna bust off a can of kick butt on their behind. Like, the thing is like, and so that's an important office. Again, our society makes it sound like if everybody's not a CEO, then what's the point of living? But it's like, dude, there are other offices that need to be filled. Not everybody can be a CEO. And honestly, like, most people can't. Most people can't do that. I wouldn't want to be a CEO, flat out. Like, yeah, the whole idea of flying around on a helicopter and, dressing in fancy suits and all this other stuff. Yeah, it sounds cool, but dude, like, mo money, mo problems, man. Like, you don't know what kind of hellish stuff they got to go through. The Bible says something to the degree of, like, it's like rich people basically have different lusts that, ensnare them. And it's true, they do. Like, because you could just afford a lot more. Anyhow, but that's a whole nother topic. But the thing is like, so, but the nurturing is so important. I mean, for real. And then, because that helps kids to grow. Like, that discipline helps them grow and whatever, but that nurture helps them to be a caring human being and not a psycho. It levels them out. They don't just need to be meat robots, but they need to be caring, loving, full-fledged human beings. And the thing is now the husband's supposed to love and nurture too, but we're just not naturally as good at it, and like, the kids need a little bit of babying, and that's what the mom is for. And so, and not only that, but the mom can teach if you got daughters, she teaches them how to be women. The husband can't teach them how to be a woman. A lot of times, I'm telling you, like, when my ex-girlfriend, when I heard how much, like, I mean, like, well, yeah, well, she just went to the gynecologist so often, and I was like, geez, dude, you gotta go to that, like, pretty regularly. She's like, yep. I guess that's a normal thing for women. And, you just don't know this stuff as a dude because they don't care about your junk when you're a dude. They don't. Like, they just don't. You're basically told just wash yourself and, whatever, dude, But women, no, they've got a whole system going on that dudes, we don't even think about a lot of time because we just don't have to. And the other thing is women teach us how to, and that's another thing, women teach us how to deal with our own emotions. They teach us about anatomy, basically. They teach us about some very, very important things. I mean, because honestly, a lot of dudes are just like, I'm just going to headbutt my way through it, and you better get out of my way. Well, women actually teach you how to deal with those other emotions because, like, maybe you've got insecurities. Maybe you've got stuff in there, and it makes you a smarter, better human being, And so thank God for that. I mean, because that's a huge role. Like, and a lot of people nowadays may not respect that. A lot of people are just like, oh, she's just there to nurture. And it's like, dude, that's a huge role. Shut up. Because everybody needs that. Everybody needs that. And so that balance right there creates the stability for the kids. And so the kids' role in the family is to just learn, grow, obey their parents, strive for better, and, whatever, and to follow their example and, learn about the Lord, hopefully, Lord willing, get saved and, go to heaven, and everybody goes to heaven together. But they got to believe. That's the thing. But you have can be used in a big way to help them with their belief, because when they see, like, my dad's got all this stuff figured out, my mom is so smart, like, and, I got good parents, and whatever, they may not be perfect, but they try their best with what they know how. And they really love the Lord, and that's the whole reason that, I had it so good growing up, is because of, what's in the Bible. Maybe I should take this seriously, and so the thing is, you have to think how you treat your kids is going to say everything. It's so important in your witness, because, your kids are around you when your guard is down, and it probably shouldn't be. Honestly, I don't know if we should ever let our guard down in that regard. I don't think we should at all. But the thing is they'll be able to tell you how Christian you really are, how sanctified you really are, I should say. Maybe you're saved, but maybe when you get home, you just let it all hang out a little bit too much, right? And so the thing is your kids, they'll see that, and look, we need to be disciplined in everything that we do. And the thing is your kids see in what you allow, what you tolerate, becomes their normal. And so I think I heard Charles Spurgeon say, show a child which way it must go, something like that, but you need to go that way yourself. Don't tell them to do something you're not finna do yourself. Or if you do, tell them, like, yeah, if I did this more, I'd be a lot better off. Be honest. But the thing is, though, is like, but yeah, like, if you're sitting there having a Bible study with your kids, every day, but then you're not acting on it yourself, your kids will notice, like, well, hang on, Dad, what's up with this? I thought that, and you can't just tell them, do as I say, not as I do, boy, like my dad told me. right? You have to be able to look at them and be accountable, be like, you know what, son, you're right. You're right. I could do better here. Like, pray for me, and whatever. Um, you got to be honest, man, and that'll get so much respect from your kids, where they're just like, hold up, my dad doesn't know it all. But he admits it. How cool at first it might freak him out a little bit, but then later on they might start to think, you know what? He's a human being. He ain't no dang superhero. He's just a human being. And he tries that hard. And then he's honest where he fails. So fail honestly. Don't sit there and make up excuses and whatever. Just be like, yep, that's just where I didn't measure up, I guess. But I tried, and the thing is that says a lot. But the thing is, though, if you look at your kid, though, when they call you out and go, listen here, you little booger, don't say nothing to me about anything ever, I'm your father, and you better never even think about calling me on what I do, even though the Bible says that, basically. It says not to rebuke your elder, but it also says to admonish one another, exhort one another. And if your kid's a Christian, guess what? They have that same role of being able to look at you and say, hey, what you're doing isn't biblical according to this. And if they're right, you need to listen to what your kid just told you. You need to actually listen, because the Lord could use your kid to talk to you. The Lord once used a donkey on Balaam to tell him, like, dude, why are you beating me so hard? And rebuke Balaam. And so the thing is, or Baal in the Old Testament. Anywho, Balaam. I don't remember if that's Balaam in the New Testament and Balaam in the Old Testament or what. But anywho, I hope you know what I mean. But the Lord used a donkey to speak once to rebuke the prophet that went out of the way. And so the Lord could start, anoint your kid to speak to you and tell you, hey, you got to remember King David, he was the run of the litter, flat out. And then next thing you know, he's king. Joseph, look at Joseph, he's same deal, another run of the litter. And I don't think he was the runt necessarily, but the thing, because I don't think he was the youngest, but the thing is but still, he's just another one of them. So don't look at, that your kid could call you on that, could be used by the Lord, and you got to get with that. But other than that, you have authority over your kid. Now, the Bible has authority over you, though, right? And so, if it's biblical and whatever, you got to look at it and be like, dang, dude, you got me, that's totally right, I'm sorry, pray for me because I need help in this area. And that might really guide your kid in a real biblical understanding that we're all sinners just saved by grace, and that'll probably be a really good, healthy dose for your kid. Not only that, but it might make them feel like, well, dang, okay, my dad isn't just the type of dude to, flex his authority meaninglessly, but it might lead your kid to respect you more. But the thing is, though, is so don't clam up and harden up when your kid does that, because that might come up, because they see things that you may not see, and maybe may be able to minister to you. And you got to think, one day, if you raise them right, one day, and you take care of them right, one day they'll most likely be taking care of you. And so you need to think of it as an investment. Everything you do with your kid, this could come back on me one day. And if I, put in my all and whatever, and I give them my best, and I minister to them, and I treat this as a ministry from the Lord, maybe one day they might do the same with me and look at caring for me in my old age as their ministry to the Lord, and that's healthy. And so you see, with all this laid out, you can see how society's suffering because there isn't enough of that. Because could you imagine if everybody in a town lived like this? except for the singles, of course, but all the families in towns were like this. Do you know how much different society would be? Do you know how much, like, how much values we would just, more readily have? I mean, seriously, man. It's a beautiful thing. And it's honestly what's hurting society so bad right now is there's just not enough of this. It's like that one song says, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. Like, it's so true. And they need that agape, godly, biblically structured love. I mean, and people, if, and by the way, if you criticize the Bible and you've never read the Bible, shut up, because you don't know what you're talking about. Go run your squawk about something else, because a lot of these people who criticize the Bible, they don't know anything. They just know a few things they disagree with about it, but they, in whole, do not know what the Bible says, and they need to shut their mouths. The thing is this is such a beautiful work of art. If you want to see something beautiful, look up The Necessity of Chivalry by C.S. Lewis on YouTube. Man, because I'm telling you, that is what the world is missing in such a big way. Restraint, chivalry, good values, good goals, stuff like this. Structure, but structure combined with nurture, I mean, this is what's needed so bad. And so the thing is, in all this rooted in godliness, because the Bible is the only real moral absolute that is worth anything. It's the only path to God. Why do you think everybody in this world has a problem with Christianity but nothing else? Everything else is cool to go, but not Christianity, right? So, yeah. Out of all of them, that's the one people roll their eyes at the most, right? Because they know it's right, but they just don't want to listen. So, we should consider what a godly household looks like. If everybody was, working in obedience and striving, you would grow and you would become such a worthwhile human being. And honestly, growing up now and knowing what I know, oh man, I wish I had that. Even when I was a kid, I wished I had that. You'd go to church and see some of these people and they just seem like they had it figured out. Their kids did better, and that's something you should look up. Look up how much better kids do when they come from a 2-parent household, a godly household, that's rooted in the Bible and, whatever. They do better. They do much better in school. They do much better in life. You know why? Because they're sane and healthy. This is the only way. Whether you like that or not, it's what it is. But yeah, I think that'll be it. Pray for me, and y'all be good. Peace out.